Hey, this is Doug, and I am the Second Chance Fat Man coming to you guys here on Sunday, March. I believe it. Yeah, it is the 25th of 2018. How are you guys? So this week, I'm reporting to you that right now, I truly am. I'm facing discouragement. So a couple weeks ago, I reported that I got sick, but right before I got sick, man, the pounds were coming off pretty rarely. And since I got sick, it's really kind of put me on a plateau. And then, I don't know. So, I mean, as far as a check-in portion this morning, I'm still at 355 is right where I'm around. And I've had a great week. I'll be honest with you. We were able to crank out another almost 11 miles this week. And, and to combine that with last week, I can't tell you when, and frankly, I can't tell you if I ever really walked 22 miles in a 2-week period. So I'm happy about that. But I'm discouraged about the weight. And I know you guys are going to write, because you guys always do, which I love, you know that. But I know you're going to write, muscles. And I concur with that. My legs are honestly changing. I can touch them right now. They're feeling a little bit different. They're feeling a little bit thicker. They're starting to take a little bit different shape than just the blob that they were. I know that. The miles, not that they're coming easier per se, but I'm walking at a much faster pace than what I did. So there's a lot of changes going on. And I know there's positive effects to this whole food plant-based diet, but I'm still 355 pounds. When I get on the internet and I read, some people start their journey right where I'm at. I just started at a much higher level at about 500 pounds. I think it was 503 to be exact. So it's great. I mean, we've lost 145 pounds. We're walking. I do feel all those changes. And I know I shouldn't get caught up in that scale. The number on the scale. I know I shouldn't. Trust me. I know. But I am. So I Googled discouragement. And it came up and it said it was a loss of confidence or enthusiasm. Now, I'm still pretty enthusiastic about it because there's some good things to see. But I did kind of question myself. And that's really the point of this video. Because I guarantee you that if you are a morbidly obese man or woman and you've watched this channel or watching this channel and you're starting this journey, this day will come to where you start going, wow, this is hard. Why is this happening? So for me, I immediately went this week to, thinking about my change acronym that I've developed. I make the choice daily and I've halted, but I got to the A part. I've analyzed this week. Hey, Doug, how did you do this week? I got to be honest. I did great. As far as eating, I did great. As far as exercising, I did great. I honestly am doing well in those regards. But the weight's not going anywhere. And I know it really hit me with discouragement because Friday I took my princess to Sam's Club to catch up on some grocery shopping. They've never had this before, but they had a table of Krispy Kreme, all of them. The donuts, the apple pies. One of my favorites used to be the cinnamon buns, and they had those in a box. And I'm like, I can get one. I could eat one a day. We're good. And I actually stood there. Now, I didn't have this conversation out loud because I don't feel like being arrested. But I honestly thought about it. I stood there and had the conversation in my mind. Now, I'm happy to report that I didn't leave with a box of Krispy Kremes. I didn't leave with anything bad, frankly. But I knew that by having that conversation, that really showed me personally where I'm at and where I'm at in the discouragement. So I feel a lot better today, and that's really, again, the point of me trying to make this video is because, again, you guys will come to this point too. So how am I going to rise up? How am I going to leave the despair. So I have a really good friend, and I constantly send him encouragement. Because I told you, in that change acronym, it's a choice. And that choice isn't a singular choice made once a year, once a decade. It's made every day. Frankly, it could be made every moment by moment of the day. So I constantly focus on encouragement, and I send him all kinds of stuff. And one of the ones I sent this week is, one of the best lessons you can learn in life is to master how to remain calm. You know, I take it back from a biblical sense. One of my favorite scriptures is Psalms 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God." Because when you get discouraged, it's almost like you're that duck. You know, you guys have all seen that the talk about the duck. You know, that a duck on the surface looks calm and it's gracefully going through the water, but underneath it's just rolling. You know, it's just paddling away with just fervor. But on the top, you can't see that. So whereas I can stand in front of you and smile, inside it may be going nuts. So when all of this happens, I have to take that breath, and I have to calm myself down, not outside, inside. And I have to go to what I want to talk to you guys about. I have to go to my why. Anytime you make a change, anytime you make a choice to change, just like I did, you have to have something at the root that is solid, to be honest with you. I think if someone starts a whole food plant-based diet and they are doing this for vanity, hey, I'm morbidly obese and I just want to have a six-pack, maybe that will work for some. I don't think it's going to work for me. I don't think that's enough for days and weeks like I've had this week to push me further. I'm doing it ultimately for my health. I was tired of being who I was. And I'm doing it for my family. It bothered me that my wife would go to bed and she would worry if I was even going to wake up the next day. It bothered me that my kids worried, when is Dad going to die? That bothered me. And I've told you guys in several of my videos, just my own things of, not being able to bend over and tie my shoes. Sitting on a toilet seat and cracking the toilet seat. Going to a restaurant and having to inhale to slide yourself in the booth and exhaling and actually cracking the booth off the wall. That bothered me. This past July, it bothered me to take my princess to the water slide and reassure her the whole time going to this water park that I was going to ride down the slide with her, only to get there and see a weight limit that I greatly exceeded. That bothers me. So on days like this, or a week like I just finished, when I get myself discouraged, and discouragement is a little bit harder when you're doing a lot of things right. I can tell you that. If I would have gotten that box of Krispy Kremes and downed them, I really wouldn't have anything to say to you guys, because I could easily point to that and say, whoa, wait a minute, look what you ate there, big guy. How many calories was that? But when you're looking back and you're saying, man, 95% this week, I was solid. My exercise is on point. And that discouragement sets in. That's when you do. You go to that why. Doug, why am I doing this? I often say that a journey is peaks and valleys. And yes, life can put you in a peak and life could put you in that valley. But it's you who determine how long you're in both. It really is. It's really right here. And that goes back to my why. I want to have health. I want to allow my wife to go to bed and say, you know what, he is going to be here tomorrow. I want my kids to be able to really have a dad. And I want to be honest, another thing of doing this, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, is I want to encourage you. I had another gentleman write me this week, and I am horrible with names, and I'm not going to grab my phone there, but he wrote me this week. He's 450 plus pounds. And somehow one of these videos have encouraged him to want to change as well. That's awesome. That's my why as well. I want to do it for you guys, who I will probably never meet, except in this right here, in the electronic world in which we live. So, a little bit longer video this week. I just wanted to be honest. We haven't gained anything. We haven't lost anything. We knocked out again another right around 11 miles, which I'm happy about. So the training for that 10K is in May is on track. That's great. But just wanted to be transparent with you guys this week. And I know that this is a challenge that you're going to face if you decide to change. If you make that choice to change, there's going to have to come a day, or there will be a day where you go, wow, I stink. I'm really discouraged. How do I pull myself out of that? You have to develop your why. And that's one thing I want to end on, is it's your why. So many people will rip your dream apart because it brings to a realization that maybe they don't have that dream, or they don't have that enthusiasm, or they don't have that drive. You guys wouldn't believe some of the things that have been said to me, and it's okay. I'm not mad at those people for saying that thing. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. They can have it. It's okay. But at the end of the day, it's not their dream, and it's not their why. It's mine. So I hope you guys have a great week. I am going to continue this week eating some really good food, drinking some very clean, pure water, and putting in a lot of time. This will be my last week of 2 miles, and then once we get into April, I will go ahead and transfer. Go ahead and go up to 3 miles for the first couple weeks in April. So anyhow, I wanted to touch base with you guys and give you this, because this is what's in my heart. This is what's in my mind. So I hope you guys have a great week.